So hello and welcome back to another video. So in this video we'll be talking about why and how buildings could help a lot in stopping or slowing down climate change. Buildings generally cause a lot of emissions. While constructing lets out tons and tons of carbon dioxide and concrete, steel and the material transportation and every related element causes a lot of emissions. So which is generally measured as embodied energy, which is the uh, say an embodied energy of a brick will include the energy used by a man to take clay out of the soil and the energy used in the kilns to burn it and the energy used for a truck to bring it to the site. Till that point we measure the amount of energy that the brick uses, so that is the embodied energy of that material. It is a very emission intensive process, the construction, but after construction too there's a lot of emissions. There are two types of efficient buildings, I should say. So which is a net zero building and a green building. So a net zero building and a green building might look very similar, but they are not. So net zero buildings are those buildings which do not use electricity from the grid. Generally buildings are connected to the electric grid, which takes the current from the grid, which comes from a coal fired plant or a oil fired plant. So that causes emissions again. Energy which is needed is produced on site through wind and solar and other renewables, or it is built in the case of off-site renewable energy. Say a building uses 100 kilowatt hours of energy, so say it makes 20 kilowatt hours of energy inside the site and 80 in some other land, which through solar panels or wind, which is connected to the grid. So technically the whole used energy is given back to the grid, which means that it's a net zero building. So in case of net positive buildings, it gives more energy out than it uses. So that is it about net zero building. So but achieving a net zero building is a very complex process, and I'll explain it in a whole other video. So in the case of green buildings, in my opinion, green buildings are better than net zero energy buildings because it covers a lot of a plethora of topics than just energy. Green buildings, it focuses on the amount of energy used too, but it also focuses on using local materials very near close to your building construction site. Then it reduces the emissions in that way. It also focuses on rainwater harvesting and other major aspects which intends to be make the building more sustainable. That is it about green buildings and net zero buildings. So in the next few videos I'll cover these in detail. So there are a lot of governing bodies which decide what building is what. So if you want to make a building net zero or a green building, you have to go to the governing bodies like World Green Building Council, IGBC, GRIHA. In UK there's BRIAM, in US it's LEED. It is expected that by 2050 all buildings will be carbon emission free, so everything will be net zero. Even in India they're promoting to use solar panels if the building area is above a certain size, and I'll post more videos on this. I think it needs more recognition. I guess you like this video. I'll do more research and come back with net zero and green buildings. I'll see you in the next one.